The text came in 2 weeks before my sister's wedding. We need to talk about the photos. You understand you're not really presentable. Maybe sit this one out? 28 years. And I still wasn't good enough to stand next to them. My mother's words sat there on my screen, casual, cold, like she was asking me to pick up milk. But here's what she didn't know. I was the only reason those photos were happening at all. See, my parents had booked the most exclusive wedding photographer in the city. Premium package, 12 hours, 2 shooters, legacy album, $18,500. They just didn't realize they'd booked me. I had the proof. I had the contract. I had every email, every clause, every signed page, and I had a choice to make. Where are you watching from right now? Have you ever been the embarrassing one in your family? Hit that like button if you've been there. And subscribe because this story has layers. Let me back up, because the worst part, they had no idea who they were talking to. I grew up in a family that cared about appearances. The right clothes, the right address, the right body. I was never the right anything. There was the family portrait when I was 12. My mom handed the photographer a photo editing list afterward. Make me look thinner. Smooth out my arms. Could you maybe put me in the back row? There was my high school graduation. My parents introduced my sister to everyone. Star athlete, honor roll. She's going places. I was standing right there. No one asked my name. There were 100 moments like that. Small cuts, quiet erasures, so I found a place where I could disappear on purpose. Behind a camera. I fell in love with photography at 16. Saved up for my first real camera at 19. Spent the next 6 years learning everything. Light, composition, the exact moment a bride's eyes soften before she cries. I second shot for the best photographers in the city. Worked nights. Worked weekends. Built a portfolio that spoke for itself. At 24, I formed an LLC. Clean name. Elegant branding. Nothing tied to my family's surname. I hired 2 associate shooters. Booked 50 weddings a year. Charged $12,000 to $25,000 per event. I saved everything. Every contract clause. Every vendor email. Every receipt. My parents never asked what I did for a living. If they had, they would have recognized the name on their own contract. Then my sister got engaged. And my mother called with the opportunity of a lifetime. Sweetheart, I have amazing news. My mother's voice was syrupy, excited. We've booked the most incredible photographer for your sister's wedding. You've probably heard of them. She said the name of my company, my LLC, my business. Everyone at the country club uses them. We're so lucky we got a spot. I waited. Now, obviously, since it's family, you'll make sure we're taken care of. Right? There it was. What do you mean, Mom? Well, you know people in the industry. You could put in a good word. Make sure we get the premium treatment. Maybe a family discount? She still didn't know. We've already paid the deposit, but there's room to negotiate the rest. Half off sounds fair, don't you think? I kept my voice level. You signed a contract? Of course. But contracts are flexible for family. Then her tone shifted. And sweetheart, about the actual wedding. Your sister's friends are very polished. The wedding party needs to look cohesive. My stomach dropped. We think it's best if you stay a bit off to the side during photos. You understand, don't you? For your sister's sake. Silence. We've already told everyone how generous you're being. How you're helping out behind the scenes. Her voice turned to steel. Don't make us look bad. The line went quiet. I stared at my phone. They wanted me to erase myself. Again. And they wanted me to do it for free. For 48 hours, I was 15 again. Hiding in the bathroom at a family reunion. Because I didn't fit the dress code. I opened my email. Started typing a reply. Of course, Mom, I understand. I'll stay out of the photos. And I'll see what I can do about the discount. I stared at the draft. My finger hovered over send. Then my sister called. Hey, so Mom talked to you? Yeah. Look, I don't want drama. This day is really important to me. Her voice was sweet, controlled. Maybe you could help coordinate things behind the scenes instead of being a guest. You're good at that stuff. I closed my eyes. What's the photographer's name again? She asked. I didn't answer. Just make this easy, okay? I'll think about it. I hung up. I sat there in the dark. Then I opened my business portal. Pulled up the contract. Client name, my parents. Full names, signed. Package, Platinum Legacy. Total, $18,500. Deposit, $6,000. Non-refundable. Already cashed. No family relationship disclosed. No special terms. No discounts. The document sat there on my screen. Every clause I'd written to protect my work. And myself. I thought I'd lost. Then I saw what they'd really signed. Contract number 2847. Client, my parents. Both names. Both signatures. Service Platinum Legacy Package. 12 hours of coverage. 2 shooters. Full editing. Premium album. Image rights. Total cost, $18,500. Signed 8 months ago. I scrolled to the inquiry email. My mother had written it herself. We saw your work at the Riverside Country Club wedding last spring. Absolutely stunning. We'd love to discuss booking you for our daughter's wedding next June. She'd gushed about the portfolio. She'd praised the professionalism. She'd never once asked if her own child ran the company. I kept scrolling. Clause 7.3. Client agrees that the photographer maintains sole creative authority over composition, positioning, and shot selection. She'd signed it. Then I found the deposit receipt. $6,000. Paid in full, non-refundable. Dated 2 weeks before my sister's engagement party. The party I wasn't invited to. I sat back. They'd booked me, paid me, signed away creative control, and they had no idea. But the contract was just the beginning. Because 3 days later, my mother sent me a list. And that's when things got real. The email subject line, deliverables update. Like I was her employee. She'd made a bulleted list. Engagement photo reshoot. The first session didn't match her vision. Complimentary, of course. Day of videographer. Not in the original contract, but she'd found someone cheaper and wanted me to coordinate them. For free. Drone footage. Rush print delivery for thank you cards. A boudoir session for my sister. All gratis. Since we're paying you already. I stared at the screen. Then my phone lit up. Family group text. My mother, to my aunts and cousins and grandparents. Just so everyone knows she's too busy with work to help with the wedding events. We understand. Career comes first. She was spinning it, making it look like I was the one pulling away. My phone rang. My father. We gave you a business opportunity. Don't be selfish. His voice was sharp, cold. This is your sister's day. You'll do this, or we'll find someone who actually appreciates family. He paused. And we'll make sure people know you abandoned her. I hung up. That night, my sister posted an Instagram story. A quote about surrounding yourself with people who show up. Every bridesmaid tagged. I wasn't. The next morning, my mother left a voicemail. Her tone had shifted to threat. If you don't cooperate, we'll dispute the charges with our credit card company. Family contracts aren't real contracts. The wedding was 11 days out. I had a choice. Lie down or stand up. I went back through my business email. Every message, every thread, there. My mother had asked for add-ons 4 separate times during the planning process. And every time my business account had replied with a polite quote. Additional videography, $3,200. Drone package, $800. Rush editing, $950. Her replies were in writing. We'll pass for now. Not in the budget. Maybe next time. She'd declined. In writing. 4 times. Then I found the credit card authorization form. Clause 12. Client acknowledges that photography services are custom creative work and waives the right to charge back via credit dispute. She'd signed that too. But the hardest proof was still sitting in my voicemail archive. A message she'd left on my business line 3 weeks earlier. She didn't know the number went to me. I played it. Hi, this is the mother of the bride. I wanted to ask you something in confidence. Her voice dropped. Our daughter, the bride's sister, is, well, she's not really wedding material. Not someone we want front and center, if you know what I mean. She laughed. Can you make sure she's not prominent in any shots? We'd really appreciate your discretion. I stopped the recording. That's when I stopped feeling guilty. And started feeling clear. I knew exactly what they were trying to do. And I knew exactly what I was going to do back. I needed to understand why. So I did some quiet digging. I called a cousin, the one who's on the outside of the family's inner circle, like me. Can I ask you something? Are my parents okay financially? She was quiet for a second. Your mom's been asking relatives to chip in for the bar bill. My stomach sank. How much are they spending on this wedding? I don't know exactly, but the venue alone is $35,000. And they booked every premium vendor in the city. I pulled up my parents' social media. Photos of new cars, country club events, luxury vacation tags. Every post was performing, aspirational, desperate. I did the math. The wedding venue, the catering, the florals, the band, my photography package. They were easily 90,000 deep, on a lifestyle they couldn't afford. The wedding wasn't about my sister. It was a showcase, a status play. My sister was the trophy. I was the stain they needed to hide. They needed my skills, but they couldn't stomach acknowledging my success. And the free services? That wasn't about family. It was about cash flow. I leaned back in my chair. It was never about me. It was about them. And the story they were selling. I didn't need revenge. I just needed boundaries. And a plan. I made my decision. I would honor the contract. To the letter. Nothing more. Nothing less. No free add-ons. No after-hours requests. No bending to family pressure. And if they breached the terms on the day, I'd document it, pause the work, and enforce the cancellation clause. First, I called one of my best shooters. I need you as a third on a wedding next Saturday. It might get complicated. She'd seen family drama before. She knew how to stay calm and document everything. I'm in. Next, I drafted an email from my business account. Professional, polite, surgical. Dear client, we're looking forward to serving you on your wedding day. Per our signed agreement, the following services are included in your package. I listed everything, line by line. Then, the following services are not included and were previously declined in writing. I attached the email thread. I CC'd my lawyer, sent. Then I booked 1 hour with my attorney. Flat fee. She read the contract. The emails. The voicemail. She looked up. You're airtight. Stay cool. Stay clinical. Let them be the ones who escalate. I nodded. The night before the wedding, I packed my gear. 2 camera bodies. 4 lenses. Lighting kit. Business logo on every case. They wanted a photographer. They were going to get one. Just not the one they thought they could control. Wedding day. I pulled up to the venue at 9 a.m. My 2 associates with me. All of us in matching gear. Logo jackets. Professional cases. We walked in like we owned the place. Because contractually we did. My mother saw me first. Her face went white, then red. She grabbed my arm and pulled me into a hallway. What are you doing here? I stayed calm. I'm here to work. Per the contract you signed. You're... The photographer. Yes. Her voice turned to a hiss. We are not paying you $18,000. I handed her a printed copy of the contract. You already paid 6. The balance is due per the terms you signed. Section 4. She looked like she wanted to scream. My father appeared. This is ridiculous. You'll do what we say, or you'll what? Break a legal contract? I turned and walked back to my team. We set up. Lighting, angles, shot list. An hour in, my mother tried again. We need drone footage. You're going to make that happen. I didn't look up from my camera. That service wasn't contracted. I can provide a quote for your next event. Her jaw clenched. 2 hours later, my father tried to grab one of my cameras. I want to take some candids myself. My third shooter stepped in, calm, firm. "Sir, this is professional equipment. Liability issue." He backed off. The ceremony was beautiful. I shot every moment, perfectly framed, technically flawless. Then came family portraits. The coordinator, sweet and oblivious, turned to me. "Do you want to step in for a family shot?" My mother's voice cut through the room. "No, she's the photographer. She stays behind the camera." The coordinator blinked. "Oh, I thought, aren't you the bride's sister?" I smiled. Calm. "I am. But I'm here to work. Not to be in photos." As requested, the room went silent. I watched it land. The coordinator's confusion. The guests' side glances. Someone whispered, "Wait, that's their kid." My mother's face was stone. I kept shooting. At exactly 9 p.m., I checked my watch. 12 hours. I packed up my gear. My mother rushed over. "You can't leave. We still have the sparkler exit." I handed her an envelope. "That's not in the contracted timeline. Your balance of $12,500 is due per the terms. Net 15 days. Thank you for your business." I walked out the door. The same door I'd been told I wasn't good enough to stand in front of. This time I was the one in control. My parents didn't pay. For 3 days, silence. Then my lawyer sent one letter. 72 hours later, the check arrived. $12,500. Certified, no note, no apology. Just payment. 2 weeks after that, I delivered the gallery. Every image was technically perfect. Beautifully composed. Exactly what they'd paid for. No bonus shots, no extra retouching, no warmth. Strictly contractual. My mother called the business line and left a voicemail. She didn't say thank you. She said the photos were cold. I didn't reply. My extended family started reaching out. Some got it. I had no idea they treated you like that. "I'm so sorry." Some didn't. "You really embarrassed them." Was it worth it? I didn't explain myself to everyone. Just the ones who mattered. My sister sent one text. I didn't know. I looked at it for a long time. Then I put my phone down. I didn't reply, because I didn't have anything left to say. A month later, I sent my parents a letter. Simple. Clear. "I'm open to rebuilding our relationship if you're willing to acknowledge the harm and do the work to change. Until then, I need space." They never replied. So I redirected my energy. I took a portion of the wedding payment and started a scholarship fund. For young creatives from families who don't support them. I partnered with a nonprofit that does body-positive portrait work. Shot an entire series, pro bono. My business kept growing. And I built a chosen family. Colleagues who saw my work. Friends who saw me. People who didn't need me to shrink to make space for them. Here's what I learned. You can't selectively love someone. You can't praise their work and hide their face. You can't take their value and deny their worth. And you don't have to accept crumbs from people who never saw you as whole. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're clarity. I'm still not in my parents' family photos. But I'm in every frame of my own life now. And that's enough. So let me ask you, have you ever had to set a boundary with family? What would you have done in my place? Drop a comment. I read every single one, and if you're here for more stories where the receipts do the talking, hit that subscribe button. You're not alone. This has been a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. Not legal or financial advice. But the lesson? That's real. Know your worth. Keep your receipts. And never let anyone make you smaller just so they can feel big.